Tonight for dinner, I'm going to be making sheet pan nachos. These are loosely based on the recipe from Joanna Gaines's cookbook. This is Magnolia table. This is the original cookbook. And I say loosely based because she likes a lot of ingredients that we do not. So the sheet pan nachos is something though that you can absolutely make according to your family's likes. So what we are using that she suggested, 1/2 pound of ground beef, and then in this container we have 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder, and Kevin can show you, these are the brands that we have in there just so you can see. There's 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon garlic salt, 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/4 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. And then you need, she says 10 ounces of tortilla chips. We like the Tostitos original tortilla chips. This is a 12-ounce bag. She says a 10 ounce, that's okay. She also says she uses 3 ounces of Monterey Jack cheese and 3 ounces of cheddar cheese. We have this in the fridge, this mozzarella. I'm going to use the rest of that just to get rid of the package. And then I bought Mexican 4 cheese. So I could have bought what she suggested, but I just like the, this has Monterey Jack, cheddar, and different cheeses. So I would just rather use those. And then she also suggests a cup of rinsed and drained canned black beans. I do not like black beans, so I didn't buy them. She suggested an avocado. Neither one of us like avocado. She suggests a 3/4 cup sour cream. I'm not using that. 1/2 cup of sliced black olives. I do have the black olives here. You want to drain the juice. Then she says 1/4 cup of minced fresh cilantro. Kevin really doesn't like cilantro. I didn't get that. You need tomato salsa. She's using fresh salsa. I'm using the paste chunky salsa because I'm easy that way. And we do not need tomato paste. This is not supposed to be out here. This was supposed to go up in the cabinet and it accidentally got laid over here. So the first thing we're going to do is
2 green onions.
2 green onions. I'm sorry. You do need 2 green onions thinly sliced. So we're going to use 2 of these. So we're going to get our ground beef on the stove, our 1/2 pound of ground beef, and we're going to heat that through, cook that through. We're also going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees, and we're going to line a large sheet pan with parchment paper. So I drained the grease. This is my ground beef, and I drained the grease off of it. And now you want to pour in all those seasonings that we measured out. You want to pour that in here and just mix it up. And at this time, you also want to get your tortillas and put them on your cookie sheet. I'll show you that. So I have my parchment paper here. And like I said, this is like a 12-ounce bag instead of a 10-ounce bag. I'm just going to spread these out. It's kind of loud. And you'll see back here, I forgot, I had some banana peppers and I want to use those. I love banana peppers and so does Kevin. So we're definitely going to be putting some banana peppers on these. I don't think you can have too many of these, honestly. But if you have some left, you can always use them with your salsa. Okay, so now we're going to take that ground beef and we're going to just put it over the top. And this smells really, really good with the seasoning. Joanna, in her recipe, she said that she uses the Julio's tortilla chips, which are, we found Julio's tortilla chips. They sell them at Buc-ee's, and we've also seen them at Meijer, and they have different seasonings on them. So she likes just the original seasoned ones. So now that's all of our ground beef. And now you want to take your cheeses. Like I said, I have some mozzarella and it needs to be used, and so I'm just going to use the rest of the bag for this. I don't think any kind of cheese, I really don't think it matters. at all. And you're actually supposed to be using 3 ounces of each kind. I don't think that matters either.
As long as it's well covered.
As long as it's well covered, yeah. I might not even have to open. I bought another bag, and I might not even have to open that other bag. I don't know. We'll see. It was hard to tell how much was in this bag. You think I need to open that other bag, or are you
There's
good?
a few people that are a little low. A few places that are a little low, so you might want to, I don't know, it's probably okay. I mean, can you have too much cheese?
I don't think you can have too much cheese. So now we want to put this in our oven at 350 degrees for 15 minutes, and then we'll be back. Okay, we had the nachos in for 15 minutes, and I'm gonna sprinkle, this is the onion that Kevin chopped up for me, and I'm just gonna sprinkle it all over the top. We both like onions, so I'm gonna use all of what he chopped up. And then we also have our olives here, and Kevin drained the water off. And so I'm gonna use the entire can, because I could just eat them out of the can just the way they are without anything else. And then I'm going to add the banana peppers. And I can eat a lot of banana peppers. The salsa, I'm not gonna actually add the salsa until, I'm gonna let Kevin put his own salsa on his, and then I'll put my salsa on mine, because that's a matter of taste, how much you wanna use. So I'm gonna get some of these on a plate, and we'll give them a try. So she says, this is a really fun appetizer to prepare, and the surest way I know to keep a bunch of hungry people happy and occupied while you finish up whatever you've got cooking in the kitchen. For us, it's a meal. This is a meal for two. She says, I usually make the seasoned meat as well as measure out everything in advance so I can toss it all together on a baking sheet and have it ready quickly when hunger strikes. So you can absolutely use the sour cream. You can use the beans if you want. I think this is something, like I said at the very beginning, that you can really make your own. If you want to use the exact cheeses she did, you absolutely can. But I wanted to use what we already had, and then I think a lot of people do that.
And the things we like.
Mm-hmm.
It's just on saltiness. I don't know if it's from the tortillas or the hamburger. No, we didn't really add that much salt in the hamburger, did we?
You had a 1/4 of a teaspoon. You could also use sausage.
That'd be interesting.
I really like the seasonings in the meat.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what makes it a little different.
Got a little kick to it.
From other recipes is, yes, because you're using that chili powder, and you're using garlic salt, you're using garlic powder, and the smoked paprika.
Now, if you really wanted to, you could probably use taco seasoning.
If you wanted to, yes.
If you wanted to save yourself some time.
Yeah. If you don't have all those seasonings in your cabinet, you could absolutely just use some taco seasoning. But
I do like the seasoning.
You wouldn't use the whole packet.
No.
I like this too. And I like the cheese we use too.
Yeah. It's it's not your traditional like runny gooey cheese. It's more of a chewy. It makes it's kind of chewy after you bake it on top of the corn chip, but it's still good.
I tell you though, that chili powder and that smoked paprika really sets this apart.
Yeah.
It adds a ton of flavor. Now, if you don't like spicy food, then you'll want to leave that out, because it really does. And there's enough in there to make your tongue tingle, I think. But I love it. I think it's delicious.
Yeah, I get a little bit of tingle. Not bad though.
I would totally make this again. I think this is great. For us, like I said, this is a meal, but of course you could use it as an appetizer. I know in a lot of restaurants when you go in, nachos is on the. Where do we? Cheddar's. Is that where they have nachos?
I don't remember. It seemed like
someplace like that.
Yes, it was because we used to get the sampler and had nachos.
And it had nachos on the sampler platter. You would get the potato wedges, and or the baked potato wedges and nachos.
I tell you, the only thing I would do different with this is I would use a full pound of hamburger.
Okay.
Because I like a lot of meat in my nachos. This is kind of, you get a bunch of bites where like this was on the bottom, there's nothing on it.
Nothing,
You get some pieces that don't have hardly any hamburger on them, ground beef. So I would probably get a full pound
and use the whole pound.
But that's just me,
agree.
that's just my personal taste. I like a lot of the ground beef on there.
I agree, totally. I would use a pound from now on. The only thing I can say though about that is if you do get a naked one, all you have to do is use salsa.
Yeah, that's what I'll do with that one.
That's why the salsa's
I'll just dip it in the salsa and go on,
But in this book, I will make a note that I will use a pound from now on. But really good, easy recipe. Like I said, you can make it a lot of different ways to fit your family. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.